Hey everyone, this is Sandip back with another video, and in today's video, I'm going to continue our Java Bootcamp series. Today, I'm going to talk about math, and it won't be a difficult math. I'm going to talk about the school math. We are going to discuss how we used to do math in our school days, and that math we are going to do in Java, and it would be pretty similar like how we did in our school days. So following math operators, I'm going to cover in today's video. I'm going to talk about the plus operator, minus operator, multiplication, division, modulus. This is something different, right? This is not a percentage actually. I mean, it's a percent sign, but modulus is different than the percentages actually. Then increment by 1, that is plus plus, decrement by 1, that is minus minus, plus equals to is add by the value on the right hand side, minus equals to is subtract by the value on the right hand side, and type conversion is the final topic that I'm going to discuss. And then we're going to have a challenge, interesting challenge that will give you the experience in using all of this, or at least some of the math operators in practice. So let's jump into the video. So first of all, I'm going to go into my folder structure and I'm going to create a folder here 04 dash math operators operators. Okay. And I'm going to open this in my Visual Studio Code. So let's go to File, Open Folder, and Math Operators. Okay, and let's create our first file into Math Operations.java. And it has created a class automatically, Math Operations.java. Inside that, I'm going to put my main method. And here, first of all, I'm going to create some variables. And I have already covered how to create variables, how to create different types of variables in Java in the last video. Basically, this is a playlist. I'll put a link in the description. Just go back to that video, watch that video, come back and see how we can create variables in Java. So I'm going to create some variables here, because we'll need variables to do some math operations on it. So I'll start, and I'm going to take a very good example. I'm not going to create simple variables like A, B, C, D or something like that. Let's go into cricket. I'm going to create some variables related to cricket. So the first variable will be the integer variable where I'm going to have score runs score by Sachin. So if you heard of Sachin Tendulkar, so how many runs Sachin has scored in one day international? It is around 18,426. Next, I'm going to create another integer variable that will be runs score by Kapil Dev. Yes, Kapil Dev is an Indian captain who brought the World Cup in 1983. So run scored by Kapil Dev is around 3,783. I got these numbers from Google actually. Maybe they're right, maybe they're wrong. I don't know. So Kapil has scored pretty low numbers if I compare with Sachin, but that time was different, right? And when Sachin played and when Kapil played. Okay, so couple of integers. I'm going to create couple of long variables. Okay, so integers are whole number. Long is also a whole number, but a large whole number, a big whole number, right? So let's create some long. So the first long I'm going to create is the minutes watched on Facebook. So minutes watched on Facebook is basically, it's a video watch time on Facebook daily in minutes. So it comes around, I think, 6 billion maybe. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And we need to use that L sign, right? So you can imagine, right, how many minutes of videos people watch on Facebook every day. Next is minutes watched on YouTube. YouTube is another platform where people watch a lot of videos. Like you're watching this video on YouTube. So minutes watched on YouTube daily, and that is daily actually. I need to add a daily sign here, but I'm going to keep simple. Minutes watched on YouTube, Facebook daily. I can add daily, but I'll leave it. It's more. It's bigger number. Almost 60 billion. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and don't forget to put the L sign. I'm going to create a couple of decimals also, right? So we create decimals using something called double, and this is these doubles are going to be Sachin ODI average. So this is the average of any cricket player, I mean, they calculate average based on number of matches, balls, and runs and everything. So Sachin ODI average, it comes around 50, I believe. So let's go with the 50.6 value. And I'm going to create another double variable which you can guess will be the couple ODI average. And that comes around somewhere around 23.8. Okay, so I have my data created, I have my variables created. Now let's play around with these variables using our math operators. So let's start with the first operator, that is plus operator. And plus is used for doing addition. So I'm going to generate some interesting stats around cricket. So I'm going to use system.out.println first. And here I'm going to say, so I'm going to do addition of all of this, right? These two integers, these two longs, and these two doubles, right? So first of all, I'm going to say Sachin and Kapil combined score. Okay, Sachin and Kapil combined score plus. I'm going to use plus. Then I'm going to use brackets. Now these brackets are important, okay? And I'm going to put those variables. So if when you want to add two numbers, you just need to put Sachin run score by Sachin plus run score by Kapil. And now what this plus operator is going to do, actually, this is going to add this run score by Sachin, which is 18,426, with 3,783, which is run score by Kapil. So Sachin and Kapil combine score, and I'm going to add one more plus here for string concatenation score in ODI. In ODI. So this stats are for ODIs, right? So I'm going to hide this, because I want to show this part. So this is Sachin and Kapil combined score. Okay, let's save, and I'm going to clear my console. I'll do Java C math operations. Okay, I'm not getting the file math operations. I need to open the terminal again because I think I have recorded one video, same video for this previously. So I'm going to open my terminal again. And let's do that. Okay, Java C and math operations.java. It's compiling. Okay, it's compiled. Math operations. And voila, you see that Sachin and Kapil combined score is 22,209 in ODI. So I'm going to put is also right here. Maybe I'll put something like this. Okay, cool. Next, I'm going to add. Okay, next I'm going to add minutes watch. So I'm going to steal this sys out. I like stealing. So system.out.println. Okay, so we will say combined. Okay, combined minutes video watch time on YouTube and Facebook is minutes. I'm going to put minutes here, and I'm going to add daily, right? So this is going to indicate daily, and I'm going to replace this one with minutes watched on Facebook plus, or maybe I'll use minutes watched on YouTube first because I have used YouTube first, and then combine minutes video watch time on YouTube, correct, and minutes watch on Facebook. Okay, cool. So I'm going to save again. We'll just do the clear Java C math operations, and it's taking time because something is running in the background on my laptop. Okay, so you said combined minute watched video watch time on YouTube and Facebook is 66 billion minutes daily, which is quite a big number. And finally, I'm going to have one more sys out, right? One more system out that will be Again, I'm going to copy this one and paste it here. And that will be Sachin and Kapil combine average. And that will be, I'm going to use Sachin ODI average and Kapil ODI average in ODI. That's okay. So I'm just going to again Java C math operations.java. And again Java math operations. And you see that Sachin and Kapil combined average is 74.4 in ODI. Now, one important point I would like to tell you about these brackets, these round brackets, right? If you remove this and if you try to compile your code, it's going to compile, but you won't see the output which you see here, right? The combined score is 22,209. So let's compile this program again. I'm going to Java C and let's run it again. At this time, when you see the output, right, it will be this strange output. Sachin and Kapil combined score is 184,263,783 in ODI. How come this number, right? Previously it was 22,209. This is because what is happening. It's combining Sachin and Kapil combined score. So this is a string and this is a number, a whole number. So it's considering this whole number as a string. So Sachin and Kapil combined score, and what is the value here? 18,426. So it has combined that, concatenated this string with 18426. And then this is one string, right? It has concatenated that with the run score by Kapil, which is 3783. You see that 3783, and then in ODI. So whenever you want to do any mathematical calculation, just put some brackets here when you have strings actually, either on the left or right hand side. So this is a really important point I would like to highlight. Now let's move on. I think we are done with our addition operator, really simple. And one thing I want to tell you, like whenever you're going to add whole numbers, you're going to get the output as whole numbers, because integer is a whole number. That's why we are getting the output in whole number. And whenever you're going to add decimals, you're going to get the output as decimals, right? You're getting it, right? So when I'm adding this 50.6 with 23.8, I'm getting the values in decimal. So this is really important. So I think I have covered the plus operator. Let's move on and talk about the minus operator, which we use for subtraction. And I'm going to steal everything from here because I want all of this system out .println, and I'm going to use it for subtraction example. So here I'm going to say Sachin scored more than Kapil. Okay, so and I'm going to replace this with a minus sign. So basically, I'm going to take the Sachin score, which is around 14,000, and I'm going to subtract it with Kapil score, which is around 3,000. So once I minus that, right, 18,000 minus 3,000. So I'm going to get the Sachin's number. I mean, Sachin scored that many more numbers, number of runs than Kapil in ODI. Similarly, I'm going to replace this with YouTube being watched more than Facebook minutes daily. I mean, these many minutes daily. So I'm going to subtract that. So minutes watched on YouTube minus minute watched on Facebook than daily. So this is another subtraction. Finally, I'm going to do the subtraction between the averages. So Sachin averaged. So I'm going to say Sachin averaged more that number than Kapil in ODI, something like this. Okay. So I just need to replace this addition with subtraction. And this should do. You need to keep this as a plus because this is a string concatenation. So this is how you do the subtraction, right? Minus, minus, minus. Clear the console. Let's compile first. And then I'm going to run. And you see that I'm getting, so YouTube being watched more than Facebook, 54 minutes daily, right? Sachin scored more than 14,643, more than more 14, more actually I should put here, actually not here, got how many more than couple, okay? And here also I need to remove this and put this more here. Okay, cool. And I'm going to keep like this, such an average more 26.8 than couple in ODI. So you see that this is how you can do the subtraction using something is running in the background. This is rendering actually. That's why it is behaving slow. Okay, I'm going to again steal my system dot println, and this time we are going to talk about our next operator, which is the multiplication operator. So when you want to do the multiplication, you can use the star operator, right? So, and I'm not going to multiply the long numbers because I know it's going to return a biggest number, and that probably won't be, and Java probably won't be able to handle that big number. So let's say, so I'm going to say Sachin and couple ODI scores multiplied, something like this. Okay, multiplied. And I'm going to take both the numbers and put the multiplication sign. And I'm going to remove this because I don't need this part. Okay. And finally, Sachin and couple average multiplied. And here also I'm going to put the multiplication sign, and I'm going to remove this part. I don't need it. And now I'm going to save, and this is a multiplication. When you want to multiply two numbers, right? And again, remember, when you multiply two whole numbers, it's going to return the whole number as an output. And when you multiply two decimal numbers, it's going to return the decimal as an output. So let's clear the console first. Use the up arrow key or down arrow key, right? First of all, I'm going to compile and wait for some time because of that operation which is running, and run. See that? Scores multiplied. Wow, that's a big number. Multiplied. It's a big number, right? Okay, so this is multiplication. Let's talk about the next operator, which is the division operator. And it's really simple again. So I'm going to take all of this three, that I can do the division of long also. And I want to show you one very good example here. So I'm going to paste. So here, Sachin scored. Okay, so I'm going to use Sachin score. Okay, Sachin runs only. Sachin score divided by couple score. It going so when we divide two numbers, it gives us that times number. How many times more than any particular person, right? So Sachin scored times more than couple in ODI. Okay, and YouTube being watched times, again I'm going to use times here, times and division operator. So minutes watched on YouTube divided by minutes watched on Facebook times more. Actually, I need to put that times here. Times more daily. Okay. And last one is Sachin averaged. I'm going to put Sachin averaged times more than couple in ODI. Okay, cool. So stealing is really helpful. So let's clear the console first. Let's compile and run. Okay, so you see here, right? Sachin scored 4 times more than couple in ODI. I'm going to give you very important point. Going to tell you very important point here. Actually, Sachin scored 4 times. It's giving the output as 4 times more than Kapil in ODI, but it is a different number. Let's do this. Let's do this calculation in a calculator. I think I have the calculator open. So, and I'm going to say, take this number 18,426 divided by 3,783, right? This is the division we are doing there. And the output is 4.870. And it's giving us 4 times more than Kapil. Now, because when we talk about something more than something, right, we are interested in the whole number, not the decimal number. And as I said, whenever you divide whole numbers, you're going to get output as whole numbers. It's going to neglect the decimal part. That's why, whenever you want to do math in Java, use double. This is really important. Similarly, when we use long also, and when we divide long also, we get the decimal number. We get the whole number. And here we have divided the decimal. That's why we are getting the output as decimal number. So Sachin averaged 2.126050 long number times more than Kapil in ODI. So remember, once again, I'm repeating, when we divide whole number, we get whole number. When we divide decimal number, we get decimal number as an output. These are some of the basic operators, right? I have covered plus, minus, multiply, divide. We are going to use it so many times in our program. Next, let's talk about the modulus operator. And you might be thinking this is for calculating percentages, but not. This is related to division, and this is related to the remainder actually. Okay. So when you divide 10 by 2, right, we get 5 here, and we get 0 as a remainder. So this output, this is what that modulus size returns us, the remainder. And when we divide like 5 by 2, right, we get 1 as a remainder. So let's see these examples. And you must be thinking where we are going to use this modulus operator. I think we use modulus operator to identify the even and odd numbers. That is a good example I can give you. So let's try to use our modulus operator. I'm going to use my S out. And I'm going to say when we divide. Okay, so I'm going to say division of 10 by 2. Sorry, when we divide 10 by 2 space. Okay, I'm going to say we get and plus brackets. I'm going to do the modulus here, 10 by 2 plus as remainder. Similarly, I'm going to copy this statement, and I'm going to say when we divide 5 by 2, we get 10. Sorry, not 10, 5 by modulus 2 as a remainder. And I misspelled the remainder, and I'm going to copy this one from here and paste it here. No, paste it here. Okay, I'm going to save. Now this time, let's do the clear Java C. Then that operation is still running. Yes, that's why it's slow. And I'm going to run it. Okay, so when we divide 10 by 2, we get 0 as a remainder, and when we divide 5 by 2, we get 1 as a remainder. That's what I've shown you here, right? So when we divide 10 by 2, we get 0 as a remainder, and when we divide 5 by 2, we get 1 as a remainder. Cool. Let's talk about the next. So you understood the modulus operator, right? Let's talk about the increment and decrement operator together. So I'm going to take a very simple example for it. So let's do that. So I'm going to create a variable called counter. Okay, and I'm going to assign 0 as its value. Now I'm going to say counter plus plus. So what this plus plus does, this increment the particular value which is stored in counter by 1. By 1, always by 1 only. So right now the counter is 0. It's going to increment it by 1. So the counter is going to become 1. Again, I'm going to do counter plus plus. It's going to become 2 because it was 1. 1 plus 1 is 2. Again, counter plus plus. It's going to become 3. because previously counter was 2. And now this time I'm going to S out or system out. I counted. And I'm going to put my counter here. So save. And I'm going to clear the console. Let's do the compilation first. And let's run it. See that? I counted 3. Now, similarly, I can decrement the counter. So counter minus minus. So what does minus minus does? It's decrement the value of counter. So right now the counter value is 3. It will become 2 because 3 minus 2 is 1. Again, I'm going to say counter minus minus. So let's decrement it 3 times. Again, counter minus minus. So finally, when I'm going to sys out my counter value, it's going to give me 0 because I have decremented counter 3 times. So let's run this again. First compile. Okay, next run. And there you go. I counted 3, then I counted 0 because I have decremented the counter by 1, 1, 1, 3 times. Okay, next operator, that is add by and subtract by. Now, this increment and decrement operator, they add 1 or they subtract 1, right? Add by or subtract by can give you the flexibility of adding by any number of time, right? So I'm going to take the counter example only, and this time, I'm going to add counter. I'm going to increment my counter by 10. So counter plus equals to 10 means whatever the value of counter is. So the value of counter here is 0, so I'm adding 10 into it. So if I print out this or println or s out this, right, it's going to give me 10. Similarly, I can do subtraction also, right? Counter minus equals to 10. So I'm subtracting 10 from whatever value I have in my counter. So here it's going to be 10 minus equal to 10. It is going to give me 0. So finally, I'm going to paste it here, save, and let's do the compilation of our math operations. And voila. Okay, it's taking time. Math operations. Cool. So I counted 10, I counted 0. See that? So both are really useful operator. When you increment by 1, just use plus plus, decrement by 1, minus minus, increment by a particular value on the right hand side, plus equals to, decrement by a particular value on the right hand side, minus equals to. So pretty easy, right? Pretty easy operators. Now let's talk about one of the important concept that is called type conversion. So we can type convert our things like I'll give you the example where, take the example, this example, right? Sachin ODI average, 50.6. Now this is a decimal number, right? But it has that integer also, right? So if I consider this 50 and if I neglect this 0.6, sometimes we are interested in the whole number. I get this 50, which is a whole number. So say suppose you want to convert this double into an integer. You can do something called a type conversion. So I'm going to steal this double from here, okay? And I'm going to create a new class actually, just to have a separate class for type conversion. So type conversion dot java, and hopefully it will create a class for me. Yes. I'm going to have my main method here, and inside that I'm going to put this variable. So Sachin ODI average 50.6. Now I'm going to create another variable which is an integer. So I'm going to say Sachin ODI average rounded. So I'm not interested in decimal, rounded. And here I'm going to just assign Sachin. See, you can do the assignment of one variable to another variable. So Sachin, I'm going to assign Sachin ODI average here. So this value. As soon as I do this, you see here, right? This red squiggly means it's throwing an error. So let's try to run this. Compile first. So Java C type conversion dot Java, and it will throw an error probably. Still taking time because that operation is running. Okay, see that? Incompatible type possible lossy conversion, because we cannot store a decimal number inside a whole number, right? And I can do that because I know I need this 50, not this decimal point and 6. So I can do the type conversion using something like this. So this is called a type conversion. So I'm saying, hey, take this double decimal number, take this 50 and put it into such an ODI average rounded. And now I can do the system out. That error has gone. So I can say such an ODI average rounded. Okay. And plus, I'm going to say such an ODI average rounded. I'm going to save. And this time I'm going to Java C. And Java okay, let me type Java type conversion. See that Sachin ODI average rounded is 50. So you can use this beautiful thing, something called type conversion. So whichever type on the left hand side you want to convert to, right, you can use it on right hand side, and you can do the type conversion and you can use the particular value. Okay, so I think I have covered so many things in this video, right? We have covered a lot of math operator like addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division, which are pretty easy. Modulus might be new to you, right? It returns the remainder of a number. Increment by 1 plus plus minus minus decrement by 1 plus equals to add by the value on the right side, subtract by the value on the right hand side, and I have finally talked about the type conversion also. So I think let's talk about the challenge now. If you want to take a quick pause here, take it, come back. Otherwise, I'm going to continue. And the challenge which I'm going to give you is this one, right? So Sachin's father had borrowed rupees 1,000 from bank, and the rate of interest was 8%. What would be the simple interest if the amount is borrowed for a 1 year? Similarly, calculate the simple interest if the amount is borrowed for 2 years, 3 years, and 10 years. So this is more of a simple interest calculator you need to create. Pretty easy. Just need to Google the formula and you should be able to do it. So I'm going to take a quick pause here. You solve this challenge by yourself, and then you can compare the solution with my solution. So I'm going to take a quick pause, and I'm going to solve this challenge by myself. So I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to continue this video. So I highly suggest you go ahead and solve this challenge by yourself, and then you compare it with my solution. Okay, so I'm going to solve it. So to solve this challenge, first of all, I'm going to create a class here, and I'm going to name this class as a simple interest calculator. Simple interest calculator dot Java, and I should get the class created. Okay, I'm going to put my main method, and first I'm going to start with so how we are going to solve this problem, right? So first of all, I'm going to search for the simple interest calculator formula. So simple interest formula on Google, pretty simple, right? And this is a formula pretty complex, but I'm going to go with a simpler one. So how do you calculate a simple interest? So Google is helping me here. I'm going to expand this part. It has made my browser also slow. So this is a pretty simple formula, right? It's principal into rate of interest into time. And all of these three values are available to us, right? If I go back to my problem statement, this is the principal, 1,000 rupees, right? This is the rate of interest, which is 8%, so 8 by 100. And this is a 10 year. So we need to find out for different time, 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, 10 year, right? So for that, first of all, I'm going to create some variables because so that I can change those values and calculate the simple interest for any value, right? So first integer, so I'm going to use double here because always remember when we do the math, right? We should use double. So I'm going to say principal, my principal is 1000, right? Then I'm going to create another variable called rate of interest that will be 8%, right? So maybe we can, I'm going to say use the 8 as a value only. And then I'm going to create another double variable, which is for a now 10 year, because there are different 10 years. I'm not going to use, so I need principal rate of interest only. I'm going to keep the third part, that 10 year, I'm going to use inside my sysout. Okay, so first of all, first system.out.println, I'm going to use that formula. So simple, I'm going to close this one, okay, just to show you the simple interest for 1 year, right, is, and again I'm going to use my brackets. So we're going to take the principal amount, right? We will multiply it with the rate of interest, and we will multiply that with the 10 years. So this time 1, and I need to divide this with 100, right? So I'm going to use another bracket here. So bracket, because I need to do multiplication first and then take that number and divide it by 100, not 1000, 100. So this will give me the simple interest actually for a year, right? So let's run the program, right? Clear Java C simple interest calculator.java. Okay, I should have used Java C, not Java simple interest calculator. So I know it's not going to run. And you see this is still going on. Okay, simple interest for 1 year is 80. I think behind the scene it has compiled also. Very good. Now let's do another one. So this will be for you need to calculate for 2 year, right? So I'm just going to change the number term here, right? This is the time, right? 2 divided by 100. And let's do for other also, right? We need to calculate for 3 years also. And we need to calculate for, so I'm just going to replace this with time. And I'm going to calculate for 10 years also. So 10, this will be replaced by 10. And this time I'm going to use Java C simple interest calculator.java. First of all, we're going to compile. Okay, then I'm going to run simple interest for 1 year. It's not showing for other years. Why? I've compiled, right? Still it is not showing. Okay, I didn't save my program. Hold on. I think I didn't save and it's still saving. So if you see this process is going on behind the scene, and because of this, it has made my laptop very slow. Oh God, it's still saving. So I think we need to wait for some time. Okay, I think finally it has saved. Let's do the Java C. And let's do the Java. Okay, you see that simple interest for 1 year is 80, 2 year is 160, 3 year is 240, and 10 year is 800. Pretty simple program, right? But you learn like how to use the operators like multiplication operator and division operators we have used here. Now, why I have created these variables here? Because now I can change this number to 2000. I can change the rate of interest to probably some other value, maybe like 6%. And I can run my program again. So maybe I'm going to compile it again and I'm going to get the different values. I can change the input, and in a future video, I'm going to cover how to take the input from the user also. So instead of hard coding these values here, we'll take the input from the user and we are going to calculate all of these values. So run and see that 120, 240, 360, 1200. So this is how, if you create the variables, right, you get the flexibility of taking this as an input to the program and calculate different values using a particular formula. So I think that's it. I have covered so many things in this video. I think I did a lot of math in this video. So I'm just going to do a quick recap, right? So we learned math operators in this video, and we had a very good challenge also. So I've covered plus operator, minus operator, multiply operator, divide operator, modulus, which returns the remainder, increment plus plus, increment by one, minus minus, decrement by one, add by the value on the right hand side, minus equals to subtract by the value on the right hand side. And finally, we did some type conversion and a very good simple interest calculator challenge we have solved by ourselves, which has given us some hands-on of using all of these math operators. So I think this is helpful. I'll continue the Java Bootcamp series. I'll come up with new topic in the next video. Until then, you take care and goodbye, and thanks for watching.